Konnichiwa, and welcome to Tsuki no Ame, where we try Japanese sweets and treats. Today we have two treats to try from Japan Candy Box. So first, this is the Marukawa Suppai soda gum. And right off the bat, I have to let you know, this is actually a batsu game, or a punishment game. So in here, it's a pack of soda flavored gum, but one of them is super sour. And we won't know until we try which one is the sour one. And I do just have to say, so I'm personally not a big fan of batsu games, but I also understand that this is, like a whole thing over in Japanese culture, and that, there are some people who do want to try it and are fine with that. And so my biggest thing about the batsu games is making sure that they're properly disclosed. And because of that, I just have to say, Japan Candy Box, thank you, thank you, thank you. I know this is a batsu game from the pamphlet. I know what's going on with it from the pamphlet. I still have no idea which one is going to be the sour one, which totally fine, but I know what I'm getting into with it, and I greatly appreciate the proper disclosure of that. Thank you so much. I genuinely appreciate it. So I did just kind of have to call that out, that this was properly disclosed. We are also going to try, and yes, we are trying this afterwards, just in case I get the sour one. I am a sour wimp, and I am not ashamed of that. We are also going to try, this is the Coris Ninja Ramune gum. Apparently this starts as a Ramune candy that turns into gum as you chew it. I also want to call out the fact ours is apparently grape flavored, so it is a grape Ramune candy, which I appreciate just because I know that plain soda is flavored things is a thing over in Japan. But at least for me personally, I'm not a fan of just plain soda. I am always amazed at how well they capture the flavor of the carbonation. I like my soda to have flavor. So I appreciate that we have a flavored one for that. But yeah, with all that in mind, let's get started. Itadakimasu! Alright, so we are going to start with our batsu game, the Marukawa Suppai soda gum. Oh, the kitties are cute, but oh, actually, I'm going to call out that one is super adorable, and that one is the mischief on that cat's friends' faces. Super adorable. I'm really hoping I'm not ending up like that cat. Okay. I'm pretty sure that they are going to give me no hints as to which one this is. I touched it, so I'm going to do this one. Wish me luck. So right off the bat, I can tell you I did not get the super sour one, and I am so relieved for that. It was not sour. Honestly, really very pleasant. That was super soft gum. Just like delightfully soft gum. And the flavor, it has that plain soda where it's captured the flavor of the carbonation. It's lightly sweet. It's honestly pretty good. Again, I prefer if it had a flavor, but this is honestly really pretty good. If you're somebody who's interested in the batsu games but also kind of wants something where, the good ones are also tasty, this is not a bad choice. That is really nice gum. I like it a lot. I am very, very uneasy about the idea of the super sour one. But the ones that aren't the punishment piece of gum they're really pretty great. really pretty tasty. So moving on to our Coris Ninja Ramune gum. I'm so curious about this one. Oh, I can already smell the grape. Oh, wow. The grape scent, just as soon as I opened it, hit me really nice and strong, which is what you want on these. So I don't know how well you can see, but it's very speckled. So it's this light kind of purpley pink color, or at least the speckling is. It's very, very light, very hard to see. Well, it did what it said. I'm just not sure that the execution worked quite as well as I would have liked. So the Ramune candies, they do kind of like this fizzy thing. Really interesting, very, very fun. Highly recommend trying, just in general, and just going to start with there. And this did start with that, which is kind of funky and cool. But the candy was like falling apart as it did that. And so like trying to keep it all together so that it could merge into the gum took like some thought. And I kept feeling like I needed to swallow it because it kept feeling more like candy. It took so long to form into the gum. I don't know, maybe that's in part because, I am here, I am filming myself trying these for the channel. Maybe without the camera, it's not such a big deal, but for me, I would have liked that transition to have been a bit smoother. That said, it did make the transition. It's definitely a firmer gum than the first one, which was very, very soft. And it did do the Ramune candy fizzing thing, which is honestly a cool effect. I do recommend. If you haven't tried one of the Ramune candies that do that, you definitely should. Highly recommend. Highly recommend. Flavor-wise, they're really pretty good. It tastes very grapey. It has the Ramune flavor. It has the flavor of the carbonation, so it does taste like a grape soda. It is pretty tasty. It's not bad. It's just not necessarily my favorite. Though I do have to admit, I'm not huge on gum generally. I think I prefer the straight Ramune candies. But if you do like trying things like that, if you are kind of curious about things like that, it's not bad. And it does change from the Ramune candy to gum as promised. It really is a Ramune candy, and then it's gum, which is kind of cool, I'll admit. But yeah, Kochiso-sama. So to recap, we won the Batsu game and did not get the super sour in the Marukawa Suppai soda gum, which is delightfully soft, has, that soda flavor. It's honestly really pretty good, at least if you don't get the loser stick. There are 3 in here that are really pretty good. Though, if you're somebody who's curious about Batsu games, ones like these might not be a bad option just because, you only have a few pieces, you know what's going on. It's fairly straightforward. Kind of a fun way to engage in that if it's something that you're interested in. Personally, I tend to avoid the punishment games, but If you're curious, this is available, and it's not a bad way to dip your toe in the water. We also tried our Coris Ninja Ramune gum, which, as promised, starts as a Ramune candy with the fizz tricks and everything, and it does transition into gum. The flavor is honestly really pretty good. I personally am not the biggest fan of it, but at the same time, like, it does as promised, and if you're somebody who's curious about this, might be worth your time, just because it does deliver on what it promises. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. If you like my shirt, the link for that is down in the description below. And please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Johnny.